This is the new Viking Tactics target. It looks somewhat like a competition target that's overlaid on the skull and the body of the target. The reason we did that was we wanted an outline, so from 200 and 300 yards, we'd be able to distinguish where we needed to hold on a human body. The reason that we made the Viking Tactics target contrast with the black and the white, we tried putting gray here, which would have been a lot cheaper to make, but when we moved the targets out to 200 and 300 yards, we couldn't really tell where the target ended and the body began. So that's why we put a white target with a black outline. That way at the farther distances, we're able to discriminate on that target and know exactly where we're holding. Just like you would be with a person, you can see the outline of that human being at that distance. The other thing that we did was up close, you'll be able to see where you shoot actually in the body and the skeletal structure. You can see the pelvis, the chest, and the head zone there as well. The other thing we did was we added +0, +0.5, +1.5 seconds so that everybody knows if they put those rounds in those zones, that's how much time we're going to add to that run. The other thing that we've added to this target are center of gravity zones. So we have one in the face, one in the chest for the heart and lung area, and one in the pelvis. This is what you'll find on the back of the target. 4 bullseye targets. They're 25-yard pistol bulls. The reason we use a 25-yard pistol bull, it's about the right size to get a guy dialed in. If they shoot out in the 8 zone, we normally give them 0s. Anything in the 10 or the 9 ring or the X ring, we're going to give them a 10 on some of the drills. We also use this for when we shoot our 100-yard aggregate with the rifle and 50-yard aggregate. It allows you to shoot 4 different positions and know where you hit at each position. So we got 4 bulls. We also gridded that. Each grid is 1 inch. The grid lines being 1 inch allows you to quickly adjust your scope whenever you need to, and that should help to limit the time that it takes to get everybody dialed in with the correct 0. The other thing that we did was we put this gray line, which goes into a black line in the white. The reason we put the cross in there is normally guys are accepting a 0 that's not acceptable. So with the cross on the target, what it allows us to do, if a guy's hitting high right, you'll tell right away that those rounds are all impacting high right, rather than looking at just a round target and saying, okay, they're all in the 10, I'm good to go. This helps to further define that. The other thing we added were the shapes. The reason we put the shapes on this target is, one, is it allows a shooter, if we move them up close, they have to work on their hold off. So it's 2.5 inches normally of standoff between their line of sight and where their bullet's actually going to impact at the closer yard lines. So this allows them to make those shots. And you can say this is a hostage, this is your suspect or your bad guy target, and they've got to put the rounds in there, or vice versa. It also allows us to call out numbers and get them to quickly drive the gun from target to target. For example, we might say 5, 4, 1, and they'd have to shoot 5, 4, and then 1. The other thing that we did with the shapes, we added these shapes so that when a guy is shooting on the move, we can tell if they're moving left and right, because a lot of the rounds will go left and right, or up and down if they're throwing those rounds. If you want to buy these targets, they're available on our website, www.vikingtactics.com.